Attention on deck!
Hi everybody, Army P here for eXplorminate.net. Welcome back to our Let's Try of Stellaris with the Leviathan DLC installed. Now, if you remember from our last couple episodes, kind of a recap of where we were, we had a fallen empire awaken in the Neborite Restorers, right where the cursor is circling around. Now we were able to watch them expand quite aggressively in taking over two independent states. We decided to put a halt to that, and my alliance, the Auspicious Atante, came in and pretty much wiped the floor. Now just as we were about to completely quote-unquote liberate them, we found that the Unbidden came in and has caused quite the stir in the galaxy, because now we have three factions of what used to be the Neborite Restorers. We have the Neborite Union, the Neborite Assembly of Nations, and the United Neborite Stars, which have all spawned from us liberating these star systems and these peoples from the Neborite Restorers. Meanwhile, the Unbidden have come in to existence, and they have a fleet of unimaginable power. Just to reiterate, I'm playing on normal difficulty. No advanced starts for the AI, if I remember correctly. I might have to look back, but I don't believe I did. And if I did, it might have been just one, with normal aggressiveness. The Unbidden coming through those portals, or whatever that they're coming through, we haven't even discovered that yet. I've got a fleet size of close to 300,000 in size. Like, it's monstrous. Now, while off camera for the, I don't know, last maybe 4 years game time, we've been doing nothing but building a fleet. You can see here my naval capacity is currently at 538. That's well above my current cap of 467. To give you an indication of just how much I've been trying to push out as many ships as I can and expand my fleet size and capacity, I'll go to my edicts, and I've even got the edict, the Grand Fleet, which increases my naval capacity by 35%. So this is giving me room, my cap up for 120, give or take, 40, 80, 120, probably 138 more naval capacity than I would have had originally. So I'm running that edict, and I'm still going over top, which you can see here I'm paying an additional I'm losing 20% due to my Federation contribution, but I'll get to that in a second. But I'm paying an additional 15% for my ships because of just how large my capacity is. I've got a fleet of 47,000. Now, the landscape has changed slightly. You can see here the Unbidden have done their damnedest to consume more and more, although they have slowed considerably and not pushed any to the south against the Neborite Union. The Volert Kingdom, a kingdom full of giant space butterflies, which is a race that I actually made in my very first playthrough of Leviathans, are being all but consumed. The Heathen Combine, or Heathian Combine, is a little bit of more of an interesting story to tell. Now I'm just going to go into my diplomacy contact window here, and what I've been trying to do is I realized that the Auspicious Atante, which was my alliance that I've had for part of my federation that I've had forever, was just not going to do it. They didn't have the combined fleet capacity to take on something that large. So what I've decided to do was I dropped out of the Auspicious Atante, and I decided that I was going to pick the strongest races to try to build a federation with. Because unfortunately, even if I were to bind or combine a federation of 7 or 8 of the smallest empires, their fleet capacity and the AI's ability to build a large fleet seems crippled if they just don't have the capacity for it. They don't seem to use any of the different options available to them to really solidify a large fleet. So I have seen some of the smaller nations taking a flyby at the Unbidden and just, with a fleet size of something like 700 and just getting one-shotted literally into graveyard. So as it stands right now, I'm looking for allies that you can see here. This is the relative power window. So if I click this, everybody who has the best fleets should be coming. Everybody is inferior to me. So even if I got to right here, and everything pathetic is not even worth mentioning. It's not even worth talking about. So my options are the Rubnite planets, and they hate me. Grand Axis, which I tried to get into but had a hard time, or the Golden Concord. So you can see here that everybody has that has a fleet size even remotely close to me is either in an alliance or they don't like me. So I decided that I was going to trust the only person that was trustworthy in this game, and I decided to join the Heathian Combine, who are my brothers, because you can see here that I'm also a giant space starfish, and we're brothers in arms. We're cousins from a different moon, and we are now in an alliance together called the Celestial Axis. While off camera, I decided that we were going to try to take the fight to these guys and see what kind of damage we can do. As it stands right now, I've got my fleet of 47,000 and change, and his monster fleet of 800. Now, I do believe he has another fleet. Yeah, he's got one here that's worth 2,500, but that, oh, and down here, so 4,000. So combine that together, and we're looking at something close to 56,000, 57,000. So I'm hoping that with some type of tech that we might be able to at least break into the lines and see, if we just do something, because as it stands right now, the Unbidden is just consuming everybody at monstrous rates. And it really boils down to it is that my economy will just not support me building too many more ships. It would get to the point where I wouldn't be able to even engage them in combat. So I have to do something. Unfortunately, the strongest AIs in this game, the strongest AI-controlled independent states are the two previous fallen empires, and one of them is completely across the galaxy, and they have something like 36,000 and change fleet right there, which would be nice to hit them into the battle, but they will just not traverse that distance because I don't think that they even have open borders to fight down Biden. So because the Allen Kingdom has got a nice little buffer with the Jahib Mastar Mandate, the Heathian Combine, the Hydrari Compact. If I lose this fleet, it's not going to be crippling me. It won't be the end of the end all be all. So my hope is that that we'll be able to do something, at least something in this situation. And it's one of the things I absolutely really like about this game is that just when you think you got it figured out, something kind of fun happens, and who knows. So I'm going to go into Unbidden space, and what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to choose to kind of bait one of the fleets. So I'm going to use my fast jump drive. Oh, and I jumped in right into an Unbidden fleet. So okay, what do we got here? Some type of ethereal ships. I don't know. This doesn't look that impressive to me. He's got 56,000. So this is really interesting. You'll see here it says that we've gotten a lot more HP, even though our military power strength is considerably less. But this is kind of interesting. Unfortunately, I can't do any of the ship details, so we just jumped right in there. So I'm kind of curious if we're going to be able to engage and see how this battle's going to go. The bar here says we're doing good because we've got such a huge amount of HP, but I have no idea what they're going at. So without further ado, let's see if our 47,000 fleet can take on this considerably larger one at 25,000. Wow, there is just a lot of ships firing bizarre weapons. It looks like we're digging into them pretty good. None of my allies seem to be coming in anywhere. Oh, it looks like they're coming in deep. I really wanted to break him down. Look at this. How am I gonna beat this? I weathered him down in, in pretty good shape. Looks like we're gonna be going, just fine against that bad boy. But look at this. This is incredible. 57, 51, 55, 63, 51. I mean, this has to be all their fleets. And this would be one of those points when I kind of wish I was playing multiplayer, because gosh darn it, or at least had control over, the AI's ability to do something, because for a fact that if 6 fleets are here, there's nothing guarding these strange, void, void things they keep putting in. So back to the battle. Although we were doing quite well, I am going to have to make my retreat, because there's just no way I'll be able to do any of that and walk out. So I lost about 9,000 of my fleet, but I was able to take down 37 or 30,000 of his. The problem is I have no idea if he can rebuild ships. It's one thing I don't know about the mechanics of the Unbidden, which kind of makes this a little bit more interesting, to tell you the honest truth. So we're gonna continue. Cruiser assembly yards, why not? Cruiser assembly yards and fleet academy, crew headquarters. Get rid of this and make that a battleship. I'm glad that my allies came to my... I mean, that's the worst part about this situation, is that if I was at war, they probably would have followed me, right? But unfortunately, I'm not at war. Well, it looks like my... Oh, they did pop up, but... So what's a void shaper? It's got to be something to do with their borders. I don't know. I really wish I could... Okay, what do we got here? What the heck is that? Some type of bizarre minefield that they're putting up. What are they doing? Oh, my allies. I hope that they escape, because there's no point in fighting that warrior. You're pretty much... You're dead to the world. Okay, let's do a repair job, because you're in bad shape. Okay, people are rivalry ended. What do we got here? More rivalries, good. More migration. Glad everybody's thinking about going on vacation when the Biden's sitting there just about to ruin the entire world. Okay. Looks like I'm heading back all the way back to home space. Yeah, so again, you can see here that my fleet capacity, exactly where it's at, but we were able to take down about 60% of one fleet before the other, 5 arrived. So it's just, I don't even know if it's a war of attrition. I will say though that I played the Unbidden. I've actually never played the Unbidden on previous to 1.3. This is the first time I've actually encountered it, typically because I never used the jump drive, right? But that being said, it does seem like monstrously hard, to be able to even get these guys going, because just the idea of being able to build a fleet that's 300,000, getting the AI to contribute to that. So it looks like, I don't know what's going on here. So again, it looks like they build up these fortresses. I don't know exactly what there is that they're protecting it. 5 in total. With minefields. It's just a waste of a battleship. Yeah, it's tough for me to say. I have no idea. Like you could see the AI is trying to do something, but they're not. They're just not succeeding, and it's a bam shame. So looks like my ships are still getting repaired. Quite the repair bill. You can see here that I'm actually ran completely out of minerals. And then they're starting. Yeah, it's not going to take them long. You can already see it almost ticks once a month. What the heck is this? And Biden's getting dangerously close to the Volart Kingdom. It just doesn't look like there's a legitimate way to stop these guys. Wow. Oh, it looks like we've lost one of my... Yeah, sure, why not? And we got some migration treaty, protectoral status, migration treaty, my armada's fixed up, leader died, migration, okay. Let's get into the meat and potatoes of this bad boy. Well, it looks like the Heathians are going after something. Oh, it looks like they're going after one of these starships. I don't know. My fleet's not going to be able to get there in time, and even if it did, I'm just at a fraction of what my old fleet actually was. But I shouldn't let him go alone, so let's see if we can combine these fleets and join the fray. Okay, with these new side jumps, I should be able to get there pretty quick. Hopefully it'll be before the actual battle's over. It looks like they're attacking one of... Look at the tough list. Oh, 74,000. My god. They just absolutely... You know what I'm going to try to do? I'm going to try to get to... I know that I think they came into Debek sector. I'm going to try to take my fleet right to there. See what's in there. Where are they coming from? Or maybe they're coming from one of these vortexes. Yeah, let's go to one of these vortexes. See if where it's coming from. Search, attack, space, fighter craft, military station damage, minerals. I'm taking minerals. That's what I really need. Upkeep on this economy is insane. Okay, there we go. I've made it to when my fleet is 36,000. Something that... See, I don't know what he's protect. Oh, the vortex, like... Okay, so Nuzab vortex, black hole, typically formed as a result of a collapse of a very massive star at the end of its life cycle. Black holes have extremely strong gravity fields, prevents anything, including light, from escaping the event horizon that has never been crossed. Okay, not really helped me out. I just don't see their gateway. That's what I'm really looking for, is some type of gateway. Looks like one of the fleets has showed up. Oh, I jumped right into the fray there. See, now I've beaten one of them. Oh, that's not good. 74,000. Got my finger on the retreat button. I want to take these guys down just a little bit. See how, you know... Oh, I'm getting cut to shreds. But I've got so much HP. Yeah, it really does seem like I've got my 18 cruisers. How many do you see? I don't even have a ship. As soon as I get 20,000. Okay, well here comes the main fleet, so now I gotta retreat. Okay, so I lost another massive chunk against the Unbidden. What are my fleets up here doing? Oh, he's down to 113. Okay, I'm gonna limp back to normal space, and that's all I can hope for, is just trying to get back to... I think what I'm gonna have to do is again retool exactly what's happening right now with the different federations, because if we let the Unbidden get too big, but unfortunately it's just the people, the different nations and federations and AI independent states that are right up against the Unbidden right now are just simply too weak, and it would take them way too long to build a sizable fleet. If you look here, even if with my damaged fleet of 16,000, he's still pathetic. The fleet size and inferior, so that's slightly better. It means that he's probably got a fleet of like 8,000, which is, inferior by nature, but it's not like a hard number, right? But when it comes to all of these nations, they're going to get consumed because they just don't have anything that's going to be able to beat them. Even my Heathian Combine, my Federation. So what I'm probably going to do is I'm tired of getting my butt whooped trying to do this all by myself. Damn. So I'm going to lay off the gas pedal a little bit. Reconsolidate. Probably tool around a little bit with, what my options are when it comes to fielding a size. I might build a lot more on star bases when it comes to off my sectors, just so it increases my naval capacity even further than what it currently is. See if I can't get, you know, at least something going. And I'll let the Unbidden just chew up all these smaller races, because coming to the rescue and taking, you know, 15,000 military power damage, losing a ton of ships, just not as attractive as it once was. Okay, I want some minerals, please, and I will give you some energy. How's that for you? So that's kind of where we're sitting. So, you know, my thoughts on the whole situation, a little frustrated because I had read that the Unbidden, when they do come in 1.3, had been drastically, their capacity and their military strength and how much and how frequently they can attack and expand had been increased. And initially I was like, oh, well, that'll be a mild challenge on the difficult setting of normal, but if it was on hard or above, if you play on that sadistic level of these type of games, then they could provide an incredible challenge. But you can clearly see that unless you had a tight-knit group of alliances, or it popped right in the middle of maybe if I didn't attack the fallen or the fallen empire just awoke and didn't officially, it just stayed fallen, it might have been a bit of a challenge. But he's just gonna sleek and consume everything, and in the meantime, we're all gonna stand by, and it'll be the Yelling Kingdom with this small little fallen empire over here. I'll have to become allies with them. So anyway, I'm going to just let you take a look at this landscape as it stands right now. You can see the Unbidden is going to be chewing through. We've gone through 2 separate engagements that have gone terrible, very poorly for us. And they don't seem to stop. The Volart Kingdom's probably next, including the Hardrang, the Tayal, the Republic of Jahab. And they're all going to go down. The only thing we don't know is just how aggressively they're going to go after the old fallen empires. So anyway, this has been Army P for eXplorminate.net. Thanks for watching, everybody, and tune in for next time, because for the next episode, the beginning of it, you're going to see drastic change. Either we have formed and forged together and put away our petty differences to attack the Unbidden, or we will be consumed by them. Until then, I'll see you next time.